All right. Let's talk quarterback to end this thing off. Yesterday, Aaron Rodgers spoke quite a bit on his future, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Tom Arth, of all people, and where he currently stands. And where we sit today, Aaron Rodgers has no idea if he's playing football in 2025. The Pittsburgh Steelers have no idea if Aaron Rodgers is playing football in 2025. And as of yesterday, it kind of seems like the Pittsburgh Steelers have no idea if they're going to be the team that Aaron Rodgers plays for in 2025. Well, one NFL analyst, Rich Eisen, who, man, dude, I listen to every single day. And when he said this one, I said, Rich, we are dead in content, huh? It is a slow time of the year as we wait for the NFL draft and are 6 days away from a draft that is seemingly pretty boring. You know, it's fun, but there's too much other stuff going on and not enough of real draft content. You know, we know Cam Ward's going first. We know Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter are probably going 2-3 in some mix there, but nobody really cares about the Browns or the Giants. Steelers are going 21, and we have no idea. But if they draft a defensive tackle, man, that's boring to talk about. You want to know what's fun to talk about? Aaron Rodgers. But people are tired of talking about Aaron Rodgers. So we're going to talk Kirk Cousins. He tossed this out there yesterday saying, just listening to Aaron Rodgers' words and just looking at Aaron Rodgers saying, I have no idea what's going to happen in this upcoming season. Rich Eisen tossed this out there. He said, quote, going into the season with Mason Rudolph, maybe get another vet, ? That's possible. I don't know. Or you trade for Kirk Cousins. That's entirely possible. Wouldn't that be wild that Arthur Smith tries to win a Super Bowl with Atlanta's quarterback? Okay. When it comes to Kirk Cousins, I do not think the Steelers have almost any interest in Kirk Cousins. I do not believe that the Pittsburgh Steelers at any point have had any interest in Kirk Cousins. Obviously, he's been on a list. Everybody's been on a list. The Steelers don't have a starting quarterback, and they need to consider other options. But Russell Wilson was also on that list. And Russell Wilson wasn't a serious option for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he never emerged as a serious option for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They wanted Justin Fields. Justin Fields didn't work out. They want Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold didn't work out. They wanted Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is still holding them on. They thought about Joe Flacco. They're thinking about Carson Wentz probably. They signed Mason Rudolph. They go into every single quarterback humanly possible in the NFL draft. Kirk Cousins doesn't seem to be that high on the list. I doubt he's last, but he doesn't seem to be that high. I look at it and say Kirk Cousins is too expensive. No chance that the Steelers are giving up draft capital, which is probably a third-round pick for Kirk Cousins after the draft, which makes it easier. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, third-round pick for a guy you're going to spend a boatload of money on. Fifth-round pick that you're going to spend a boatload of money on? Maybe, but no. I just don't think that the salary is there. I don't think that the expectations are there. I don't think that Kirk Cousins gives the Steelers what they're looking for this offseason, which they have made very clear throughout this entire process that they do not want to tie themselves to somebody who's going to be around guaranteed in 2026. That's where they're at. They have no interest in sitting around waiting for a quarterback to retire who's very close to retirement. They want to sign Aaron Rodgers to a one-year deal. They wanted to sign Justin Fields to a 2-year deal where only the first year was guaranteed. They only wanted a 1-year deal with Russ if that was any consideration at all, and they haven't moved on from that yet. They have not changed course from, we want a guy this year because next year we're going to get our guy in the draft if we don't land him this year. But they want nothing tying themselves to a quarterback in 2026 unless he's a rookie this year. And Kirk Cousins comes with a lot of guaranteed money and more than the 2025 season. And they would not be interested in that. Kirk Cousins to me is not even a pipe dream. It's a would never in a billion years happen for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if they pulled it off, would I be shocked? Honestly, yes. The answer is yes. I just don't see it happening. I don't see Kirk Cousins on their radar. Never have. And I don't think that's going to change. The Steelers need a quarterback, but they want a young quarterback. They've removed themselves from thinking long-term from anybody who's already in the league. Kirk Cousins is long-term. He comes with money. He comes with draft capital that you have to give up next year that you're probably going to use to make a trade to try and get a big-name quarterback. If you don't get one this year, doesn't make any sense. The Steelers are not a Kirk Cousins team. They won't be a Kirk Cousins team throughout this. Rich, man, I listen every single day. My dude. But we are at a point in time where Kirk Cousins is not on the radar for the Steelers. Won't be. And the second that they draft anybody from Shedeur Sanders to Kyle McCord in the NFL draft, there is no shot that Kirk Cousins comes to town. They'll go Young. They'll go Mason Rudolph. They'll go Carson Wentz. They'll go Kirk Cousins if you trade him for nothing and take on pretty much his entire salary. But if the Atlanta Falcons are going to take $150 million loss, something in that ballpark, they're not going to make that trade. So it doesn't work. I'm sorry. The Steelers, as big as it sounds, and as much as I think Kirk Cousins still has some gas left in the tank, the Steelers are not interested where we stand today. And I just do not see him as an option for Pittsburgh, no matter how many times we continue to talk about it.